हरि ओम।
हरि
ओम सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयम् नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचां मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पातञ्जलि प्राञ्जलिना नतोऽस्मि। हरि ओम। As a casual observer of our own life, if we look at our daily life in an introspective manner, we realize that on one hand, we feel that we are better than others. A general feeling that we carry with us is, look, I have earned money, I'm kind of well to do, I have a house for myself, my children are doing well, I made them study well, and I have been keeping good relation with my uncles, my aunts, and my brothers, and whatnot. And I've been very strict whenever required. I've been so all along. We ourselves chart out how good I am, or how comfortable I am, how satisfied I am, and it's not a very bad life. Occasionally things go wrong, but overall it's not a bad life. The question comes, if it is not a bad life, then why study Bhagavad Gita? Why get into Yoga Sutras? And a further introspection tells us that my every moment is not joyous. I work, I do my karma, but my every moment is not an happy moment. My every kshanam is not anandam. I sleep, but then I have complained like it was not a good sleep. I think I should have slept little more. These days I do not get good sleep. I eat, but I have complaints. I don't like this. I especially relish the so and so Vyanjana. I see the nature and enjoy it, but I say Switzerland is better than the present place. The tree is essentially same at both the places. That means my happiness, my anandam is not there on a continuous basis. It comes like a sporadic flash and it goes away. I may be calling myself as God has been very kind to me, I'm very comfortable, ऊपर वाले की मेहरबानी से सब ठीक चल रहा है. No, that is consolation. Consolation has no business in philosophy. There are only two states. Either you are happy or you are not happy. There is nothing in between. Howsoever you may philosophize it, the fact remains. As they say in Vyavaharika Vishwa, do you have the money? No, sir, actually what happened? No, 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 no. You have the money or you don't have the money. There is nothing in between. Similarly, happiness or blissful state or anandam, either you have it or you don't have it. So first, that should be cleared in the mind that I am not in a sustained state of happiness. Then comes the question, why? I went to the college, I got my degree, I went to the job, I earned the money, I bought this, I gave this, I got married, I did this for somebody, etc., etc., etc. But none of these things have given me sustained happiness. How do I reconcile it? And a very logical answer is, sir, if you have not been successful at a particular thing, that means you have not done right effort for that thing. I took the swimming costume, I took the guard, I took the balloons on either of my arms, and I decided to learn the swimming. But somehow, the moment I put my foot into the water, I am getting drawn. What is the conclusion? Preparation is not up to the mark, so you are drowning. You are not learning to swim. You are not swimming. Similarly, if you are not in a sustained state of bliss or happiness, you are attempting to be in this world in a wrong manner. You may certify it to be the right way. What to do? World needs it. Waqt ka taqaza hai. Vyavahar requires it. I cannot, in a transactional word, you have to be like that. Seedhi ungli se ghee nahi nikalta. These are all justifications. If a system is there, then there must be some rules by which the system plays, and you should play in the system. Absolutely logical thing. In other words, the cause or the etiological factor of me not being in the sustained state of happiness or bliss is my wrong behavior in this world. What I am doing at present is contrary to what I should be doing, and that is why I am not happy. So first thing, what you do, suppose there is a thorn and you are trying to sit on it, it will prick you. That means you are sitting at a wrong place. What is the solution? Avoid the place where the thorn is there. So avoidance of wrong thing is the first step in doing the right thing. See, think logically. There are two ways of doing a right thing. One is, don't do it wrong way, and then do it right way. Are they not the same? They are not. You want to be a alert person. Then what you should not do? You should not drink alcohol. So by not having alcohol, you have avoided being stupefied or being under influence of alcohol. Then comes the exercise to remain alert. So one is a negative avoidance action. One is a positive affirmative action. All such avoidances in our life which have made our life miserable are called yama. And all such things which are affirmative, assertive in nature are called niyama. One that you don't do, one you must do. A boy wants to go to the school to become educated, and he incidentally went towards a dharmashala. So what happened? He went to the wrong place. So avoid going to the wrong place, go to the right place. This is yama. So first you come to the building called school. Then what is affirmative? Study in the school. So every yama is foundation. If you are not at the right place, what can you do? Nothing you can do. So first is yama. Niyama is a constructive thing. Yama is the foundation. Yama, discipline, is a foundation. And yama is practiced by not doing this, not doing this. Let us take example of a yama which starts with ahimsa. Ahimsa is a yama which includes the rest of the 4 yamas also. Satya, Asteya, Aparigraha, and Brahmacharya you do to foster ahimsa. So the base of everything, the crux of everything, the thing of everything is ahimsa. And ahimsa means paradroha, anabhidrohat ahimsa. No droha, parapidanam. Now see, when you want to avoid parapida, automatically daya comes in you. Let us say, I don't want to trouble anybody. So I have to be very careful to see that I'm not troubling anyone. And then I come across somebody who is suffering from pain. Now, first thing I do is I don't add to his pain. But while remaining alert in not adding the pain to that individual, I also come to know that the individual is in pain. So far, I was not attentive to the pain of others, suffering of others. But now I want to avoid giving the suffering to others. I also notice that there is a suffering in that person, which creates compassion in my mind. Ahimsa also creates simultaneously compassion in the mind. You can't be compassionate if you don't notice the ahimsa. For example, there is a lot of flood in India, in Maharashtra and many other places. We watch on the TV and we see that many people lost their belongings, and you see some old people collecting everything in a small bag and they're walking in that mud. And that time we are watching like, oh, it's bad. India is in a bad condition. And that's it. A compassion doesn't arise in the mind because the sufferings that are there are not striking the chord in my mind. And mind well, to remain in the sustained state of happiness in this world, avoidance of wrong things, which is yama, is so critical that this can be done only when somebody is aware of what is going on in his mind. You cannot practice yama niyama if mind is controlling you. Your slave is committing a theft and you are listening to the slave. There is no way you can avoid the theft because you'll be dragged with the slave. Mind is your friend which has turned into a foe and has started sabotaging your peaceful existence by his creations, and we are simply mute about it. So to practice yama niyama, And this is a very critical part of sadhana. You observe yourself and your mind. With little bit of personal experience, I can add that usually within split second, mind carries you everywhere. And that happens because of aveg. There is a force with which we work. Let us take an example. You want to go to the office. See, the very idea of going to the office gives you some speed inside. There is some commotion inside. I have to go to the office. Never ever we say in a very peaceful manner that it is 7:30, I have to leave, my office is at 8 o'clock. Because till 10 to 8, we will be relaxing and then we'll be rushing. And observe this in each incident in our life. And surprisingly, even the incidents where there is no pressure, such as eating food, there also we are in some kind of rush. The Rajoguna is always picking up. It is always making you move fast. And that what is moving fast is your mind, not you. So what you should do? The horse called mind, which is running fast, you must pull it back and ask the mind, hey, how the hell are you moving so fast? Hold on. I am the owner. You are a driver of my car and you intend to take the car at your own speed. I will be dictating the speed. And for that, what you do? Physically as well as mentally, you stabilize yourself. How will this be done? By abhyasa or practice. We have so far been subjected again and again to the commotion-oriented practice, so we have become what we are. So what do you do now? Deliberately make an attempt to calm and control your mind so that you're completely aware what you are doing. Think and observe yourself. We are very rarely aware of what is happening. We are in the flow of the events. That is wrong, sir. Take an example. You are in front of your basin, trying to brush your teeth. Observe yourself. See the commotion. See the speed with which the water will gush out from the tap. Why? No concentration on the flow of water. Open the tap, reduce it so that without any sound, a small trickle of water comes, which is enough for the purpose. We do not even realize that while shaving, the speed of the water increases the speed of the shaving also, because there is some commotion associated with sound, with speed. All that needs to be slowed down. One of the reasons why we are not able to sit at one place for meditation is because of the habit of commotion of the mind that we have developed over the period of time. How then, sir, you can meditate if your daily chores of activities, you are not able to do it with the poise that is required, and you want to attempt the meditation? Not possible at all. Sadhana starts with daily activity. And when you are aware of what you are doing in your daily routine life, where you are aware and you are focused, then only you can start practicing yama. Otherwise, before you could realize, himsa is done. Let us take an example. Moment it is said that a politician visited rain affected area without any wink or any thinking, we immediately say all politicians are bastards, they are bad people. Moment you say about a new rule that is promulgated in the place where you are staying, you say all the stupid rulers, they don't know, they make, it is essentially against this. There is continuous flow of criticism that we are subjected or used to. In our personal relationship, we also have this kind of biased opinions, or even if your mama, maternal uncle, or aunt, or somebody, or brother, or sister, or somebody is bad in nature, sinful in nature, there is no reason to every time remember them with contempt. He is not coming and sitting on your head every day, but by habit, we criticize. So if we look at ourselves, we are constantly with our tongue and with our mind. Physically, we don't do it. We are so-called decent people. But mentally and through vacha, we are constantly giving slaughtering opinions about people. How often we say that, ठोक दे देना चाहिए, मारना चाहिए. The guy should be bitten badly, then he will realize what it is. Himsa is ingrained in us. For God's sake, physically going and beating somebody and not doing it and saying I am non-violent is a very, very absurd rudiment definition of Ahimsa. Ahimsa is criticism, giving opinion when it is not required. Donald Trump shouldn't have done this. He is a fool of a very high order. Sir, neither you have been asked for the opinion nor your opinion matters. But what has happened is you have created a negative commotion in your mind. Now it will have its impact on your thinking process. Why don't you think about Gurudev than Donald Trump? What would happen? At least you will not speak ill. What does this mean? Whenever there is free time and we have abundant free time, think of Lord. Thinking of Lord, you may not achieve anything positive, but negative things do not happen. Supposing you are thinking about Gurudev, Tapovan Maharaj, Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Paramahansa, anything, to whom will you criticize? Because there is somebody who is always eulogized. You feel good, respectful about these people, then naturally you do not do the himsa. Ninda, paraninda is the highest form of himsa. Do not criticize. Tukaram Maharaj says, कोणाही जीवाचा न घडो मत्सर वर्ण सर्वेश्वर पूजनाचे. He says, if you want to really do the puja of the Lord, highest puja, do not despise anybody, because despise anybody, deriding anybody is himsa. So himsa means kshobha, droha. So be careful before you commit the act. Now, generally, what is the act that you commit? Speech is the act which you commit, maximum. Physical action many times doesn't happen, but speech, and speech, the tongue is the most slippery subject in the world. Moment the satsang is over, observe yourself on Fridays or immediately, how are you? What is happening? You didn't see for a long time. Why, sir? Just now you came out of the auspicious environment. Let those thoughts prevail in your mind about the two shlokas that you discussed. Immediately you started on that subject like, did you take the vaccine? Is it an important subject? And this criticizing attitude in the mind is expressed in the form of opinion giving. We are habituated to give opinion. He's like that is like that, government is like that, president is like that, Modi is like that, this man is like that, chief minister is like that. Sir, why? Who is asking you? Why are you wasting the precious life called human life? Every time there is an opinion that I want to give, I want to be a Raya Chand. Why opinion? 99% of the time your opinion doesn't matter. It is not asked, not solicited, not needed. Even in Adhyatma, we have a habit of telling somebody else, you know that so-and-so Maharaj, you must go there. I'll tell you what powerful Maharaj he is. Who asked you? Did that man ask you? And then when more you commit to the talk, then what happens? The casualty is truth. So the second yama that needs to be practiced is satyam. Why satya is required? Because a yogi requires very clear intellect. Your intellect or antakaran cannot be polluted. You can't be yogi. It's a pristine, pure, clear thing God has given. मूर्ख लोग भेद नहीं जाने पल पल मैली कीनी चदरिया झीनी रे झीनी. Kabir Maharaj says the antakaran mind intellect is very pure. We polluted it. So don't pollute it. And how do you pollute it? By doing ahimsa and by not speaking truth. Every lie, every distorted fact, thought and communicated creates a vigorous storm inside the mind, and that pollutes the mind. A yogi cannot afford to have impure mind. With impure mind, there is nothing we can achieve in our life. Forget about yoga. Forget about the higher meditations. The already existing deep sanskaras to be rooted out in yoga. Where is the question of these lies? And that is why what is satya that we need to know. How do you define satya? Again, our mind start thinking, it is all relative. What is truth in one situation may not be truth in another situation. Because everybody thinks he is Yudhishthir. And now somebody is going to come and ask Narova, Kunjarova. Sir, there are so many lies you are making. Why do you want to take the dilemma of Yudhishthir in mind? That dilemma is also sorted out in Yoga Shastra. But in our daily life, to our own wife, to our own child, to our own boss, to our own friend, we are lying. Yatha drushtam, yatha anumitam, yatha shrutam, tatha vang manascha iti satyaha. What is the definition of satya? Yatha drushtam. Whatever you saw, because your organs, indriyas are helping you in seeing. Now let us say you are suffering from cataract. Naturally, you can't see things clearly. So if somebody asks you, okay, who is there? You may say, I think a tree is there. Why? Because that is what I saw. No, but it is a man. You are lying. You are not lying. Why? Yatha drushtam. Your ability to comprehend through your sense organs is the limitation of the truth that you can speak. Otherwise, I am in this world is also a lie. Spiritually speaking, The world is an illusion. Then you are lying because you say the world is real. No, yatha drushtam, to the best of my ability, the world is existing. For Gaudapadacharya, yes, the world is not existing. So yatha drushtam, yatha anumitam. Inference, we infer always. Where is your son gone? His cycle is not here. I think he has gone to the school. This is Satya. Now, by taking bicycle, he might have gone to some other place also. But you have not lied. Why? Yatha anumitam. Because normally in the morning, if the bicycle is not there, he is supposed to go to the school. So he must have gone to the school. So I said to somebody, he has gone to the school. Turned out that he is not in the school. So he cannot come and say me, oh, you lied to me. I didn't lie. Yatha anumitam tatha vang nishchaya. Yatha shrutam, as heard. Now, this is where the Yudhishthira came into the picture. Narova Kunjarova. I heard perhaps Ashwathama, the elephant, or Ashwathama. I am not sure. But what was the fact? He was aware. And we know the story that his chariot is to be a little bit up from the ground level. Now the chariot came to the ground level because he partially lied. In lie, there is no partial or otherwise. Yatha drushtam, yatha anumitam, yatha shrutam, tatha vang manascha iti satyam. If there is a drushti dosha, I remember when in my younger days, I'd gone for a trekking in a very, very difficult jungle, very, very tough area. The person who has organized the trek was a very stupid person. So we landed in some trouble. As a result, we reached a place which was a very remote tribal place where there were only 4 or 5 houses. And so remote was the place that they had not seen any big city in their life. This happened in late 70s. We were carrying a radio. That time there was no television, nothing. There used to be a company called Jet King. There used to be a small radio. We used to use it for cricket and other things to listen. We were having that radio. So when we went into that tribal area, communicated with them, we were very hungry, poorly organized trek, very, very hungry. We requested them to give us food. They were very kind. They gave us the food. And then we were sitting together near their hut. There are only 4 or 5 houses. We were sitting outside, evening time. And luckily the radio got the reception. So we switched on the radio. But the people there had seen the radio for the first time. So all of them came closer to the radio, that small radio thing, and started listening to what is being spoken. Then they looked at each other's face. We were shocked and aghast because even in those days, there are people who don't know the radio, but they didn't know, more so the elderly people. So what happened was, all of them, they thought that this voice is coming from sky. We tried to tell them that it is a radio, actually this is the broadcasting. They did not believe in anything. They believed in what they thought. Why? Yatha anumitam, the way you infer. What are the other characteristics of satyam? Swabodha sankrantaye. Speech is meant for what? What is the purpose of speech? Have we ever thought? Why do we speak? We have never thought also why I speak. Right now, why I am speaking? Swabodha sankrantaye. What I have understood in Yoga Shastra with my little intellect, I am trying to share it with you. Sankrantaye, transferring. Swabodha, what is understood by me. So it is essentially what you have understood, you are trying to communicate as seen by you, as inferred by you, as heard by you. Now, I am not the top, I am not Patanjali Maharaj, I am not Vijnana Bhikshu, I am not Vyas Maharshi, I am not Raja Bhoj. They are the highest commentators. So their commentary is the best. What am I doing? To the best of my ability, yathanumitam, I'm trying to. So it is satyam. At the same time, na vanchika, not for cheating. What am I going to get if I tell you all the Patanjali Yoga Sutras? Am I getting little richer? Am I trying to cheat you because I want to create a new kind of breed of Patanjali Maharaj followers? No. So I am not trying to cheat you. Na bhranta. Bhranta, putting the receiver in dilemma. If my speech or comments on Patanjali Yoga Sutra creates further confusion in your mind, then I am not speaking truth. Because I myself do not know it properly. Swabodha Sankrantaye na. Then what will happen? Bhranta. So it should be na vanchika, not defrauding or cheating. Na bhranta, it should not be putting the receiver in dilemma about the decision of truth. For example, if somebody asks, sir, if you are saying Ahimsa is so good, then what if someone comes and trying to molest a woman? Should I be beating that man or not? And if I give the answer that sometimes you can do that, no, it is creating confusion in the mind. I have to take recourse to this. Under any circumstances, you are not supposed to do the violence. Now, subject to this in Vyavhara, no, that is different thing. What about Yuddha? When you do Yuddha, it is Himsa. No, but for the sake of even Krishna told Arjuna, sir, Krishna told Arjuna in Vyavharika Tattva Jnana, that is why he said, Jitvava bhokshase mahim, hatvava prapsesi swargam. What did he say? If you win, you will be the lord of the king of this larger area. And if you lose and die, you will get swargam. But you will not get atmadnyanam. Why? Violence is not proportionate to. That is why first do the dharma, then release the dharma. Entire 17 adhyaya is dharma, 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 dharma. And then suddenly Krishna comes and says, sarva dharman parityajya. When dharman parityajya, then himsa, ahimsa, under service, all this is to be. And what is Yoga Shastra? The final ascent. When you're already on the final ascent, then Vyavaharika Vishwa, because Yoga Shastra is simply divesting yourself from the world and getting into the final journey. When you want to divest from the world, then again you cannot have the subsections and objections and something from the world. That is why a truth is a truth forever. No exceptions whatsoever, and that is why pratipatti vandhya vana bhavet iti. If the person who is hearing your words is not able to make any decision from what you have conveyed, it is a lie. If I speak something gibberish in front of you, or if I speak in medical language to a common man, it is not the truth because he hasn't understood anything. Truth has to be understood by the receiver. So the person who is telling, there are conditions on him. Yatha drushtam, yatha anumitam, yatha shrutam, tatha vangmanascha. So he has conditions. Whatever you know, whatever you have seen, whatever you have inferred, in the same manner that you transfer to the receiver without the intention of cheating him or making him confused, then the title truth applies to that statement. However, one of the biggest proviso for all these conditions is Satyamaya Vani has to be for Sarva Bhuta Paropakarartha. Now, I am speaking truth, but somebody is getting harmed. It is not a truth. It is called Satyabhasa. Why it should be for Bhuta Paropakarartha? Because the prime yama is Ahimsa. So if your truth results in Himsa, then such a truth is not a truth, because Ahimsa is supreme. Now comes the question of a lady which is being chased by some goons, and you are asked about her address or where is she hiding. You know about it, but you will not say about it. Now, yatha drushtam, yatha anumitam, still you are not telling. Why? Although yatha drushtam, I have seen the lady hiding in the bush, but if I tell them that this is the truth that she is hiding there, there will be himsa. Ahimsa is supreme. And that is why, even though yatha drushtam, it is not for bhuta paropakarartha, so it cannot be truth. So satyamaya vani, provided it is bhuta paropakarartha. So see the criteria. First thing is what I have understood. Swabodha sankrantaye. Yatha drushtam, as seen. Yatha anumitam, as inferred. Yatha shrutam, as heard. Once I am confirmed, then I can communicate. While communicating, it should not be for cheating, for defrauding, or creating confusion. And yet, it should be for bhuta paropakarartha. I am an excellent speaker, and I start giving speech on how to steal the money. It is not satya. Think of it in little larger context. A professor of marketing, when he starts giving you guest lecture and tells you that doesn't matter, at the end what we need is the money from the pocket of the customer. It is not sarva bhuta paropakarartha. रेवेन्यू से मतलब है, प्रॉफिट से मतलब है. Where is bhuta paropakarartha? You were due legitimate for doing the transaction, you must, because that is Vaishya principle. But right now there is scarcity of goods because of COVID. Double the price. Look at what all the doctors have done in, unfortunately, in India. COVID has been the biggest opportunity to make money. All vaccine manufacturers, companies quadrupled their profits. Is it Satya? No. Why? It is not a bhuta paropakarartha. So Satya is the second yama. How should the Satya be? Avanchita, not cheating anybody. Abhranta, not confusing anybody. Pratipatti purna, that means the person who is receiving should be able to make some decision. And bhuta apaghata varjita, bhuta paropakarartha, bhuta apaghata varjita. Otherwise, it is called as satyabhasa. Now, what is important for us to know before doing anything? Right now, we are talking of speech, but otherwise also, before doing any action, pariksha. Pariksha means examine yourself. Then the question comes to the mind, I speak so much in the daytime, every day I'm speaking, how often I can wait, then think, and then act? Then, sir, think about it. Is it necessary to speak? 90% of the time we speak when it is not necessary. And maunam doesn't mean not to speak. Maunam means not to speak unwanted speech. How can I practice maunam? Sir, speech is to be done with somebody else, because if you start speaking to yourself, what will happen? Of course, you speak to yourself in your mind. That is also part of speech. But at least orally, if you start speaking to yourself, you will be called as mad or lunatic. So one of the first criteria is, why increase the people with whom you interact? Is it necessary? Oh, there is a club, here you go, no, I'll introduce you to my friend. He's a very nice guy. He works in that industry. Sir, what is the need? Oh, he's connected to the senior minister. Why? Do I need it? No, it is important. Networking, no, it is better to keep all these relations. I've got so many 1,000 cards neatly lined in my thing. Why? Check yourself in our own satsang, what happens. What is he doing? Didn't see you for a long time. How is it that you were not seen? I hope you are in India. Everything is fine there. Why, sir? He's gone to India. What is your problem? Rajendran ji, you are in India. Okay, nice. I think you are sitting upstairs today. Upstairs or downstairs, how difference does it make to you? Habituation. We are addicted to wrong thinking. Reduce the contact points. Imagine Tapon Maharaj used to be strict about gossiping in the corridors. Now, what is the corridor in that small hut that he had? This much small, not even one room hut. Even there, he was not allowing Gurudev and others to speak and gossip. See the discipline. And look at ourselves. Yes, we must praise Gurudeva, activities, fine. But getting too much involved into it. Look at the Gurudeva's Upadesh, what he gave. Fine, it is good, nice, not bad. Listen to it. But ask also a question to you. So many things about Gurudeva we send on WhatsApp with each other. How much of that I implement in my life? So, pariksha, purna vichara kruta, sarva prani matra hitakara, it's satya. And when you say sarva prani matra hitakara, that means you should not do ahimsa. That is why the Smriti says, satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, na bruyat asatyam apriyam, priyam cha anrutam bruyat, esha dharmaha sanatanaha. Since the practice of speech is very difficult, first do the quantitative restriction. Quantitative restriction is possible when you reduce the sangha, contact with the people. Now that doesn't mean you become a complete mendicant. That's not possible. It's a very difficult task. But be to yourself. You need your office because there are 10 people, they'll be saying good morning to you. That's enough. Going out of way, moment the office is over, he is in search of that guy. Immediately picked up the phone. Hello, how are you? Long time no see. What is your problem if it is long time no see? Why you want to get into it? And most of all, if the person is not connected with Adhyatma, why do you want to get and talk to him? Oh, it's been a long time. I have not spoken to him, almost ages. I must call him. Why? A good friend, even if you don't call for a couple of years, he will remain a good friend. Acquaintances is a problem, sir. Friends are not a problem. We consider acquaintances as friends. Call everybody over to the house. Why? Party. Ask a question. What do you get in that party? Fooling yourself for about 3-4 hours, that maza aaya. Some liquids were flowing in the glasses. Maza aaya. What maza aaya? You spoiled your health and you created a habit, because now you'll again look for that. And then you will complain, these days it's so difficult. I want to now, from 1st January, I'm going to reduce everything. How many stupid resolutions you will make, sir? A simple discipline of not having proper food, avoiding some intoxicants is not what you can follow. And on the top of it, hey, I want to study Patanjali Yoga Sutra. And one of the reasons why this false pride is there, because I'm educated. Our education has substantially no relationship with Adhyatma. Why? Because this education doesn't teach us anything about Adhyatma. That is for earning the bread and butter. And that we have done already. Even we don't open our own books of engineering and medical after so many years. We have never seen the face of the book. So that's all gone. Essential for survival, the job that I do, rest all the time. Then there are some great people sitting in the house, they will start probing into wife. Where did you go? What are you doing? Why, sir? Let her do what she wants to do. No, this dress doesn't look nice to you. Actually, what you do this. Sir, who asked you the opinion? She is privy to her own dress, her opinion. She let her wear, no? Appreciate everything. Very nice. You look beautiful. Doesn't matter. Everywhere there is a predilection, liking, disliking, opinion giving. We are inflicted with that disease. It's an affliction. Opinion giving. And then we come together, even in Adhyatma, and give opinion. Gurudeva was great. Gurudeva was great. Gurudeva already knew it. What about you? It's the same like in Ganapati Atharshesha. Tam gunatrayatita, tum kalatrayatita, tum dehatrayatita. The Ganapati came forward to me and asked Dr. Jadhav, I know what I am. I am gunatrayatita. What about you? This is because of lack of introspection. And that is why, in order to practice the niyama and mind well, without the practice of yama and niyama, which is for the nicha adhikari, we are even below that, adhama. So if we do not practice yama, for God's sake, there is no way we can get forward into Yoga Shastra. No, but I am PhD and doctor and IAS officer, and this doesn't count anywhere. Throw it out. Yama has to be practiced for further movement. No, but I want to do meditation. I have learned Gurudeva has written a beautiful book on meditation. Very nice. He has written, so I'm going to practice it. Sir, take it in writing. No meditation is possible. You are cheating yourself. You are into some false notion that you are meditating. Some people have come and told me also, whole night I was meditating. And I really want to touch their feet, because 1 minute meditation is a rare gift by God. One night meditation, that means he is to be revered forever. And the guy very next moment is angry with somebody. Cannot happen that way. Yamas are to be practiced to the best. Then the mind gets, the whole exercise of yama niyama is for purification of mind. And without purification of mind, meditation cannot even be thought of. The glimpse of meditation is what you do when you follow this yama niyama. Supposing when you're aware of what your mind is doing, what you're doing, you're trying to concentrate on your mind that it should not do any bad act. That is a small percentile minuscule meditation. That is why practice truth, satyam, and assist that with the maunam. When maunam gets combined with this, the satyam becomes more powerful, because maunam, what it does, chances of committing mistakes are lost. Not going to the pub, there's no chance of drinking. Not speaking too much would naturally lead to no harm of lying or otherwise. And mind well. Speech is an expression of the thought in the mind. So when we say satyam vada, it's not only speak, satyam, think also. Satya vichar. In the mind, you are thinking that I will take advantage of this fellow. Somewhere he will be useful to me. On the face, you are not saying so. On the face, you are saying, "Aiye, ghar pe aaye, it is nice, so nice to meet you. Such a nice person you are." But behind the flattery or the praise, in the mind, you are thinking that this is a man of some use, he's highly placed. Asatyam has already happened. You didn't speak about it. That is the reason Ahimsa followed by Satya. And mind well, this sequence is given with certain importance. Only a person who is non-violent can speak truth. Why? One who is doing violence can never have control on his mind. Without control on the mind, speech cannot be regulated. And Ahimsa is an essential covering of a beautiful fruit called peace. Where there is Ahimsa, peace prevails there. So how should be our life, day-to-day activity? Shant. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace. And peace will come by what? By everything. Be at ease. Be at rest. Move slowly but strongly. Know what you are doing. Do not hurry up. Do not unnecessarily do commotion. You see in the boxing match, the best boxer is one who is very, very peaceful. It's a violent game, but it tests the peace and the patience. It's very funny and surprising. In the first few bouts, the best boxer keeps observing the other person. Very calmly he observes him. He observes the jab, the box, the punch, and then dodges it, ducks it, observes everything, then acts. Same thing in our life. Going for satsang, starting at 5:30. Be at your place 5 minutes prior. Suddenly in the mind, so much of thoughts. Today, what shall I speak? I should first, I think I will, I read that also. No, sir, commotion. No. The commotion happened because you want to win the accolades of the best speaker on Patanjali Yoga Sutra. That is wrong. Absolutely wrong. We all are sitting and discussing the beautiful pearls of wisdom from Patanjali Yoga Sutra under the blessings of all the rishis. That is why we are in the morning. Maybe certain things I don't know. My own intellect might be falling short, quite possible, because that is the stage of my development. Are you going to abuse the buds because they are not flowers? One day they will be flower also. Be on a time. So punctuality comes there. The commotion and punctuality. That's why be where you are supposed to be a little prior, at ease. Take the blessings of the elders and the rishis and start speaking on the subject that has been allotted to you as a seva. To whom? At the feet of the Lord. Then what happens? The flow starts coming. Similarly, while listening, listen to it intently, try to think about it, assimilate the thoughts, and then very coolly and peacefully ask a question to yourself. Am I enjoying the peace that I'm getting? Mornings have come, I just got up. We get up with commotion. Now there is no commotion. That is why Ahimsa is the mainstay, followed by Satya. We have another 3 yamas left, and then the niyamas will start. essence of the thing is control on the mind before the act is the critical first step of any sadhak's sadhana. Horrendous amount of reading, scholarly mastership of all the scriptures of no use whatsoever if the very basic is not understood, and that is peace, slowness, lack of commotion, no hurry. In a systematic manner, if the life is led, there is alertness, savadhata and dakshata will start coming. We shall see more about these yamas in the coming session. Hari Om. Om Purnamada Purnam Nidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Sanjay ji. We'll wait if any sadhaks have any clarifications. Okay, Sanjay ji, I have a couple of clarifications. One, when we started Yoga Sutra, the thinking that I had was it's a little bit more practical in its approach, and it will give us practical hints. But today I seem to be getting in the direction that it's more meant for sannyasa. And you're also looking at it as a very bipolar thing. So either you have it or you don't, like sukha. So can it be in steps? Can the practice start while you are worldly engaged in a commercial activity or have a family? And therefore, can the journey start now?
Yes, it can, and it should be like that. Because no one is so perfect that very next day you start practicing yamas, niyamas the way it is described. How we go about it is, when you are in your vyavahara, first thing that you will do after listening to this yama niyamas is you will further not degrade yourself. That is the first step. Then you start slowly implementing it in your life. The implementation cannot be right away because you are immersed into vyavahara, in samsara, in family life, in your daily day-to-day professional life. So outright it cannot happen. Then how it will happen? This is a process, remember, going on in many births. We don't know how many, but the preparation goes in the same manner. If your punyam, because of your right attitude and conduct on the basis of these yoga sutras happen in your current life as well as coming lives, what will happen? Slowly your karma will free you from these kind of restrictions which you are right now getting in vyavahara, and you will be born into something where you can practice this yama niyamas further with chastity and purity. That is how the progress happens. So Swami Vivekananda or any monk, when he suddenly gets into sannyasa, naturally he will practice yama niyama to the best of its ability. That doesn't mean we cannot practice it. We should know the ideal. The ideal is to reach the Mount Everest. That doesn't mean you should not start climbing when you are at the bottom. In this particular janma, you might climb up to the first 10 meters. Even now there is 6,500 meters left. Doesn't matter. So the whole process is a process of evolution. You are evolving, but at least start the evolution. The whole idea is, then the question is why it is given into so much of strictness and everything. It is because you should know the clear idea. This is Shastra Jnana. The Shastra Jnana has to be complete. They can't tell you that, okay, right now you are in the worldly life, take 1/4 of this Yoga Sutra to you. No. You study everything so that you know the whole impact, what is expected. They give you entire engineering book or marketing book to study. You don't study everything. You take the gist of it and try to make you 1% knowledge you take, and that is enough for you to survive. So we here, what we do is you go step by step. It is extremely practical. It is given Sanskrit names and all that. But when it comes to speaking truth, it's an absolute practical hint. Now, how do you do speaking truth? Yeah, this is yama. You don't speak truth. You don't lie. There is nothing like practicing truth. You just don't lie. But then, there are certain places where you have to lie. Reduce the number. That is called parisankhya vidhi. It's like a smoker saying that, I can't stop. Suddenly next day you tell him, quit smoking. He will not. Then what do? I used to smoke 10. Now I smoke 9. It's a progress. In the same way, yamas and niyamas to the best. But again, you should not take an excuse. What can I? Then there are no limits. Then nothing will be possible. Some amount of clash will be there. Some amount of trouble will be there in the beginning. And that is why you have to do with little bit of knowledge of Durgamata. Some amount of pressure will be there. But to that extent, you will have to. For example, you want to become Dandva Atita. It's going to come now, where suppose there is too much of cold. Now you will say that no, cold is always, that's a problem. They should have a sweater. But suppose you don't have a sweater, suffer for some time. Let the body suffer. Doesn't make, you don't die immediately. That's how slowly you increase. But if you're told that, look, in Himalayas, the monks don't wear anything. So from tomorrow you stop, that will not happen. It's a gradual process, positive process. And do not think of it as a something task to be done in one life in this 4 years, coming 4 years. Sir, it takes many births. Hari Om.
Hari Om, thank you.
Hari Om, thank you. Thank you. Same question I wanted to ask. Now the reply is very much clear. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Sanjay ji, the other point in Ashtang Yoga is, are these sequential in nature? While we are only at the first one, is it necessary that they have to be sequential? For example, I could work on posture, whenever we come to that, or is it steps of a ladder?
So it's a point of a kind of deliberations amongst the Bhashyakaras also. Very good question. It is already discussed by Bhashyakaras. It is not sequential. Each of them have its own value and can be practiced independently. However, at the base of it, they are so closely connected with each other that generally they are connected to each other. So generally following sequentially gives a better base for it. For example, I want to be satya, truthful, but I can't avoid himsa. Generally it doesn't go well. Then you can't speak truth. So that is why independently they can be. For example, asana, you can definitely practice it independently. There is no doubt about it. It will have its own advantages. You will get definitely benefits out of it. However, asana is sthira asana or sukhasana for the physical part of it. At the same time, controlling the posture and controlling the mind, they go parallel to each other. If you look at the essence of all the yamas, you will realize that every work is done only on the mind. The whole work is on the mind. So the way of working strategy differs in yama, in ahimsa, in satya, because there are different aspects of application of mind. Back of everything is mind. So you can practice it independently, but the sequence is given because there is a flow, there is a melody into that particular thing. But no hard and fast rule that it cannot be practiced independently. It can be. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Sanjay ji, just since you are mentioning about this, we are touching about this Astanga. This Ashtanga pranam, which is the last one, the 8th one, like 2 legs, 2 hands, like that. 8th one, I am not able to get any. You see, Ashtanga pranam, the 8 parts of the body, right?
8 parts of the body. If I remember it right, basically we are talking about Janu, both the knees, both the elbows, the chest, I think the abdomen, the front part of the brow, I believe that is how it is made into 8. I need to really check it. What are those 8? I don't.
Okay. No. I got 2 legs, 2 hands, then the forehead, all kind of things. That 8th one I'm not getting. So anyway, it's okay. You can.
I'll find out.
Okay.
I'm not
Okay.
need to find.
Okay. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Sanjay, you just give a minute in case anyone has any clarification.
Hari Om, Sanjay ji, this Hatha Yoga and saying Hatha Yoga doesn't talk about Yama and Yama, no? So it was evolved first, or?
No, Hatha Yoga is not the first evolvement. Hatha Yoga is a later development. If you look historically also, it is the Astanga Yoga that was there from beginning. Hatha Yoga is a later development. Hatha Yoga is a supplementary development for Ashtanga Yoga. From Hatha Yoga, you are supposed to graduate to Ashtanga Yoga. So Hatha Yoga by itself also can make you reach a certain height. But a very simple one statement made by Swami Vivekananda should suffice to us. He said, in Kali Yuga, hardly anybody can practice Hatha Yoga because it is the conditions itself are not conducive. In fact, it is a very detailed subject. So if you look at Hatha Yoga Pradipika, if you read, it is very difficult. In fact, Vivekananda himself was asked this question as to why you did not take Hatha Yoga. And he said that 1, it is not complete. And 2, in Kali Yuga, very few can practice it because the conditions do not suffice for Hatha Yoga. That is why Hatha Yoga as practiced by us is actually a erroneous Hatha Yoga, but it is basically a preparatory step. It has to be ultimately taken forward into Raja Yoga. So Hatha Yoga, after a certain stage, migrates into Raja Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga. Hari
Hari Om, Sanjay ji. Just to
Yes.
clarify, in Satya we talked about Yatha Drushtam, Yatha Anumitam, Yatha Shrutam, what you hear, then what has been understood, na Bhranta, not putting somebody in confusion. And when we talk, there's Sarva Bhuta Parokar, that is not misleading anybody, right? Is there something else I may have missed?
No, Sarva Bhuta Paropakarartha, and then it should not create Bhranti, Brahma, and it should not create Vanchita, defrauding or deceiving anybody.
Okay. Vanchita is, sorry, just one.
Of the truth.
Okay.
Vanchita.
Okay.
Hari.
Thank you.